Hello, everybody. I'm here with, and we have a special guest host, Amanda Bentley. Drum roll, please. Woo! And we have one of her personal friends that she just loves to be, would love to be in the magazine. So today, here we go. We have Jennifer Trace, who is in Calgary, Alberta, with Refinery Hair Lounge. Hi, Jennifer.
Hi, how are you today?
You are so fun. When we started the video, I could see exactly your style and how you are easygoing and really fun. And I really appreciate that about you because you never know somebody's personality in life when you first meet them. And when you vibe with somebody right away, it just makes more opportunities flourish, I feel.
Yeah, I agree.
So you've got some exciting things going on in your hair salon. It's a lounge because if you saw the interior of it, wow, it's so welcoming, inviting. It's a beautiful space. Amanda knows a lot more about her space than I do because we are looking for someone to do our hair for the summer, you guys. And I know that you guys are too. So Amanda was like, Jill, Refinery, go there, check it out. And we just love that we have some copies going to be there in the future too.
And honestly, I was in awe like when I first stepped into Jennifer's salon because I couldn't believe like how beautiful it was and the lighting and just the vibe there. Like it was actually kind of hard to leave once we had our first meeting because I'm like I just kind of wanted to stay and hang out.
Oh,
And
yeah,
then
there it
I
is.
just recently had an event, and where did I want to get my hair done? The Refinery Hair Lounge. It was
You must have had such
amazing.
a good experience, and you looked
Yes.
so good for your event. And we had her videoing and dancing, and she just looked so beautiful that night. So yeah, you did a wonderful job.
Maggie did a great job with her hair.
Maggie
Yeah.
did a good job. Shout out to Maggie.
Maggie, yes.
So
I feel
we're
like our space is a little bit unexpected too, because we're on the second floor. You kind of come up an elevator and you have to go down this hall, and then you go through the door and it just opens up. And it's just a bit of an unexpected space that people are like, oh, I had no idea this was even up here.
My dogs like to bark. Thanks, guys, for joining in. They're excited as well. They are short-haired chihuahuas, so they do not need their hair done. Just kidding. But you have some exciting things coming up for your career. You were just saying that all things have come through but your hard work and through fruition. What does that entail, my dear? You're actually going to be starting to educate people to learn hair. What does that mean for you? That's a big deal to be a teacher once you have your
Yeah.
own
So I'm
salon.
educating for a brand. So the brand is called Pro Addiction. It's a smoothing system. If you think of hair Botox or what was Brazilian blowout, but this is very unique and very cutting edge in that it is completely safe, nourishing. There's no formaldehyde or any of those bad chemicals in it. But it's also more versatile where you can defrizz someone's hair, but keep their curl or reduce their curl or completely eliminate their curl, depending on what their desired result is. And it is completely permanent. So it's a phenomenal system. I've really enjoyed using it in our salon. It is a labor intensive service to do, but it is so worth it with the results. So I've just been brought on to educate this system. So I will be traveling to other salons and other territories to teach other stylists how to do it and how to use it. Um, so in the interview, they're really just bringing on educators. So when I ask like, oh, what is my territory? My territory is North America right now. So I could be traveling anywhere in North America over the next little while teaching this system. So I'm really, really excited. They are in the process of hiring more educators. So I'm sure my travel will reduce over time, but right now it could be just about anywhere.
So, what is your expertise in hair that people come to you for? I noticed that you're an ethical salon, which means many different things,
Mm.
including the products that you choose, ethically sourced, as well
Yep.
as clean for you, as much as you can with a any product, you know, and that's
Yeah.
how it
Well,
goes.
all of our brands that we bring on, they have to be ethically sourced, as you said, sustainably made. Some of the brands, their factories operate on 100% wind power, use recycled plastics in their packaging. One of our brands, a brand out of California, the first ingredient on most of their products, like 98% of their products, is organic aloe,
Oh,
not
wow.
water, not anything else, aloe. So we have a couple of Australian brands, American brands that are just, they're so clean. All the packaging is recyclable. We also offer a refill program. So you can, on certain shampoos and conditioners, you can bring your bottle back and we will refill it to save money and packaging costs. Um, and so we just do everything we can to be as sustainable and green as possible.
And that is something that is to be talked about because that does cost a lot more. And that's why people do what they do with most products that are not great for us because it's cheaper with preservatives in it and all of that. Where did you get the ideal that that was important for your business? Like being a hairstylist for almost over 30 years, um, you must, as a client like we are, going to the salon experience things.
Yeah.
Like what happened with your journey with that?
Well, I was born and raised in Victoria, BC. So I grew up as a tree hugger. I love the environment, going out in nature, and it's just something I've always, from a very young age wanted to protect. And, in this industry in particular, there is a lot of, waste and preservatives and chemicals that aren't good for you. And I just never really wanted to subject myself, my stylist, or my clients to those harmful ingredients. And I just want to leave a planet behind that my kids can still have a planet. The oceans aren't going to boil and the, you know, glaciers aren't going to all melt. I
No,
want
but
to do what I can in my own way as much as I can.
that is really, really lovely. That's why we wanted to call you a leader of tomorrow. You're
Oh,
one of the only people that we have that are a business owner within hair and beauty like that. So that's exciting. It's new for us as well. We love hair. Look
oh
at this
yes.
long, long hair.
Yeah, it's so long.
Yeah.
It's
I
so
do not know how
beautiful.
to do my hair. So I definitely was saying to Amanda, I think I'm going to go there as well.
Yeah,
So
definitely.
we have some amazing questions for you. So Amanda's going to shoot some of that, but I just wanted to read out what we had written about what we had felt about your salon here. So step inside the Refinery Hair Lounge and you'll quickly understand why it's becoming a local obsession. Owner Jennifer, a seasoned stylist with a passion for both artistry and business, has cultivated a space that is not just about beautiful hair, but about a beautiful way of doing business. Supported by and dedicated by a talented team. We'll get into who your team is later. As seen in I'm Here with Magazine with Jennifer is recently going to be featured and the salon as well in our next print edition here and
Awesome.
our 18th edition as well for the summer. So we're excited to
Amazing.
have you be joining the pages and getting to share your journey along the way. So Amanda does events with us, and she has done an incredible spread with us for the
Yeah.
last three
Such great
editions.
photos.
Yeah, we keep bringing her back. We can't help it. But she was letting us know that you have an event for Stampede. We're all about
Yeah.
it. Tell us about what the people could expect. They could come meet you as well, and we'll be there too.
Yeah, so it's we've done one market before. It's like a pop-up market where we have local vendors come in and hawk their wares. But we completely transform the salon. We move all the stations, move all the chairs. Like it doesn't look like a hair salon at all by the time we're done. It's booths and shopping and wine, and there's usually a bar and some snacks and
We come for the
whatnot, and
snacks.
and people
Yeah.
get to just come and meet local artists and vendors and have a great day of shopping and fun.
Awesome. My dogs are really enjoying this chat too. They want to get involved.
Well, you can always bring them to the refinery because we actually are
Okay.
dog friendly for friendly dogs. Uh, we have some salon pups that some of our staff or myself bring in
So
our dogs
fun.
into the salon. So
That is something
we
very
love it.
different.
We
The
love having the pets around.
Yeah, the experience of being able to bring your dog places is not
Yeah.
always, unless they're a service dog. And even still, people, you go into a store and you feel unwelcome because, people think that dogs are dirty or whatever. But I feel like, well, they're not going to be standing on anything. They're just on the floor. Relax. But
Yeah. Yeah. We
that's what,
love them. They're such an important part of, our lives and we just
do
love them
you
to pieces.
do you have animals and dogs?
I have a cat. I had two dogs who used to come to the salon with me, but they both passed. I can't get another dog, or my cat will actually murder them.
Yeah,
So,
yeah,
or
that's
me in my
awesome.
sleep. She's not a fan. So
Cats are
as long as
adorable.
I have my cat, I'm just a cat right now. But
Do you breed her?
I actually borrow my ex-husband's dog and bring her in. I drop my son off at school. I pick up his dog and I bring her in with me sometimes.
What a
So, and
cordial relationship you must have still. Well,
yeah,
well
she's
done.
such a sweet dog and it gets her out of the house. Otherwise, she's stuck at home all day. So they're
Yeah.
like, yeah, take her. It's great.
Amazing. Well, let's talk more about your team and who people
Yes.
can experience getting to experience with, and what maybe um, people want to know, like directly, literally, people want to know who to go to for what kind of stuff.
Yeah. And when people call in, like we do try to kind of chat and see who would be the best fit. But if you're just, looking on our website, everybody's got their bios up there, their Instagrams are up there, so you can always go and check out their work. But we have a really diverse team. Like everyone is so unique in their personalities and their own styles. My manager, Cecilia, has been with me since day one. She was my very first interview, my very first hire. She was an apprentice when we opened almost 7 years ago and she's become a journeyman and then an assistant manager and now my manager and she is my right hand girl. She's fantastic. I also have Amy, who her and I actually went to hair school together 18 years ago. And she's been with me for probably 5 or 6 years now. Then we have Allie and Jessica and Michaela and Maggie and Gary, who are all journeymen. And then I have Camila, who is our apprentice stylist. She's in her second year of her apprenticeship. So she is just finishing out her final hours. She has her final exams, and then she'll be a full journeyman as well.
That's amazing. I love that you have a diverse team in
Yeah.
skill set and where they're at in their career, because down the road, the people that are just finishing now are more gung-ho and learning what's really new and now. And I find people who are in school are almost like pretty good. If they're naturally good
Yeah.
at it,
And
they're
they're really
on
great with their social media and the videos, and they're all on point with that, which is so great. But yeah, Camila is, I think, like 20, and Gary is in his 70s. So we have a broad
Oh, I love
range.
Gary. I want to meet
Gary
him.
was a lot of fun to meet. Yeah, he
Yeah.
seems like a really
There's
neat
a
guy.
gas.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
let's
he
talk
works a
about,
couple of days a week. He does his, senior wash and sets every Friday, his regular ladies that are in every week,
okay.
as well as, other clients as well. But like, he was such a delight to bring onto the team.
Well, that's wonderful. I want
Yeah.
to talk about how you guys met and
Hmm.
your experience getting your hair done and what that's actually like working with going to the salon yourself and Maggie's experience.
So it's neat. Jennifer and I are part of a women's group run by a lovely lady named Vera. Her Instagram handle is, I believe it's Create Your Best Chapter. And so we met in a coffee shop at one of Vera's events, and we each got a chance to kind of help, kind of coach each other on kind of what we may need help on in that moment. And I met Jennifer that way. And then
Hmm.
after like looking at her Instagram and stuff, I wanted to reach out to her. And so I reached out, we started messaging back and forth, and then we made a meeting at the salon so we can meet. And I was, like I said, blown away. Blown away.
Yeah, we love what it looks like so far for what we've seen.
Yeah, but actually having the experience of going to experience the
Very
refinery on
high
my own,
ceilings, hey?
very high
Yeah.
ceilings. I felt like I was in LA. The lighting is amazing, but like everyone was so nice and welcoming when you come in, and like there's all these amazing, beautiful looking products I wanted to learn about. And yeah, like, and I was impressed. It didn't take very long to do my hair either. But another thing I wanted to mention that the viewers might want to hear is I know I was reading the concept of like beauty on a budget because like it's
Yeah.
interesting when you go get your hair done, it's like, okay,
You
like you
never
need to
know how
like
much it's gonna
prepare,
actually
like,
be.
okay, it's gonna be this, I want this done. Oh dear, okay, cha-ching, cha-ching, cha-ching. And I was like, I was really interested to hear kind of a little bit more about your idea of like beauty on a budget because that's a big thing for us ladies that like.
Yeah. And I mean, a beauty budget for one person is very different than what somebody else's budget is. And it's not saying that we do things cheaply or, necessarily, but we respect whatever someone's budget is. So, somebody might want a big blonding service, but they just can't afford that. So it's like, okay, well, what is your budget and what can we do within that budget to give you the maximum impact and get you as close to your goal as possible?
Hmm.
And just having a really honest conversation about like, well, what you're asking for is going to take this long. It's going to cost this much.
Transparency, yeah.
How do we break it up into maybe smaller appointments so we can work towards it? How do we, some people are like, great, let's do it. 8-hour appointment.
Yeah,
They don't,
yeah.
that's fine. But all of our pricing is done at an hourly rate. So it doesn't matter if you're getting a root color, a haircut, or
Oh,
a highlight. It doesn't matter what we're doing. If it takes 2 hours, it's this $85 an hour times two. If it takes 4 hours, it's $85 times four. It just however long it takes. So someone with really long, thick hair is going to take longer because they have more hair, than someone like me, who has short, finer hair. So we really have an honest conversation before we even start about this is what you want. This is what it's going to cost. Are you okay with that? And if not, where do we meet? So that nobody's really surprised. They
yeah,
have a
that's the
really
worst
good
part of going
understanding.
to the dentist and the hair salon or nail salon is when you go and then you're like, oh my gosh, it's this much. I thought it's this because you don't expect
Yeah.
yeah, you don't expect them to tell you the breakdown usually. That's not usually a thing.
Yeah. And it's
I
like,
love that.
oh, this highlight is $500 and this other thing is $200. But why? Why is it that way? Like, what makes this cost more than that? So really helping somebody understand, you know, the hourly and the process and what's involved. And also we also only charge a client for the actual product that we use in their hair. So if I use 60 grams of color in, Amanda's hair, but I use 80 grams of color in yours, she pays for 60 and you pay for 80. That way it's like 10 cents per gram. Like we get down into the minuscule cost of exactly what you're paying for.
Hmm.
And sometimes takes more explaining to help people understand, but I feel like it's a conversation worth having,
It is. Yeah,
rather
absolutely.
than the mystery of the hair industry
What
of,
did you do to me?
I
You
have no
never do it
idea.
again. Yeah.
Yeah, like, oh, well, you want that? I just do it. And all of a sudden it's this price, and you had no idea it was going to cost that
It
much.
makes
That's
people
not
feel
really
slighted,
fair.
yeah. And then they don't want to
Yeah.
come back. And hair is something that you need to come back for every few months or
Yes.
whatever. So building that relation with people is the business
Yeah.
side of it. So
Yeah.
we had a question about how you went to university and must have learned so many skills because a lot of hair students, and I was one of them. I went to Marvell College, very exciting.
Oh, yes.
Learned all the
Now
things.
MC College, they call it.
Yes, I think it is called MC.
Yeah.
And back in 2008, I graduated early.
Okay.
And You learn so many things in school that you bring with you forever, like the instructors that have taught you their kind of niche and how they do it, and you figure out what you like the most and then go out into the world and try to do that as best you can. What about you? Where did you start with your education that brought you to where you are now, do you think?
Well, I wasn't always a hairdresser either. So actually started my career as an interior decorator and visual merchandiser. Um, I went to Langara College in Vancouver for that. And then I moved out to Calgary as an interior decorator. I worked at what is gone now, but is was Kai Mortenson's, which was a big, you know, institution here in the furniture world, doing custom furniture and stuff like that. And then yeah, I just got a little bit tired of the industry and being in sales, working in a furniture store. Wanted to make a change and decided to go to hair school. Um, and then before I decided to, so I worked in a salon, then I worked from home for many years after I had my son, had home salons. And then when I decided to open this, I went to Mount Royal and did a course in entrepreneurship and learned about what it is, what it takes to be an entrepreneur. And it was scary and made me realize I'm not quite ready yet. So I went out and continued doing what I was doing for a couple more years until I had more pieces in place and was ready. And then this location really is what spoke to me. And I was like, it's there. I know it. Like I just felt it in my bones that that was the location I was meant to have. And so I pursued it and opened up the refinery.
How many years has it been now?
So just in next week will be 7 years.
Okay, that's quite a while, and that's
Yeah,
exciting that today is kind of an experience for us and others to learn what it really takes to run your own business,
yeah.
especially within the hair industry. What is the most cool, popular, look? What is the trend? We have no idea. I have no clue what that is. I'm seeing like a blonde. It's called blonde and brown mixed in there is kind
Yeah.
of like your hair color actually, where it's like blonde and brown. Is this the
Yeah.
thing or am I incorrect?
No, that's been coming up a lot of for a long time, the ashy blondes, you know, the really cool platinums were in. Then we got into the world of balayage where they're more lived in colors. It's not right up to the root. It's a little bit more money piece, but then the blonde, it kind of fades down to the blonde. And now what's really happening is the colors are getting warmer again. We're getting back into the golden blondes and the, you know, caramel browns and really having the more natural colors of hair. Hair isn't naturally cool or ashy. It's very hard to keep it that way. So getting into these warm honey tones are, and as a stylist, we love to see it because it's just such beautiful colors that so yeah, blonde and golden blondes are hitting the runways, I guess, as you would say.
Have you ever seen the show Secret Lives of Mormon Wives? Heard of
No,
that?
but I've heard of it.
One of the girls I was even chatting with on social media recently, very just like hello, and sharing her because her new show's coming out, and they are all about the hair. Every single girl gets the same stylist done. Um, and it's just the craziest thing and how they like explain hair and how much time it takes and like the effort that this one woman puts in to help all these women look good and they all look the same and they've got the wave and the blonde and I thought to myself it got me excited about hair again to be honest
That's
watching it I
funny.
thought yeah there's like a ritual that these women are doing with their hair and putting
Yeah.
that out and
And it's so unexpected. It's not an area of a group of people that you would expect to be so into their hair.
oh, they're very
Another group
you
that you
tell
don't
them
expect to be so into their hair is actually like Muslim women who wear a hijab. You think, well, they're covered up all the time. They do a lot with their hair. They
Yeah.
are very into their hair. It's, they do it for themselves and for their husbands and their girlfriends who do see them without their hijab on.
Yeah.
But we actually have
Yes.
the ability to pull a curtain and have private services so that women can't who wear any kind of head covering can come in and remove it, and they don't have to worry about a man walking in or seeing them, and they can get their services done with us,
Privately.
in security,
How,
being able to take
how,
their head covering off.
I have never heard of that in a Calgary salon ever. Where did you come up with that idea?
It's something, I don't know where it came up with it, but it just kind of came to me that I'm like, it's not something that is offered.
No.
Most salons are very open. There's no ability to kind of pull a curtain. Whereas the way ours is set up, we kind of have the side that has some chairs and the front desk and the front door. And then there's sort of like a wall that you go around. And then it opens up to where the sinks and some more chairs and stuff are. So if we can just pull that across and then give them some privacy, then we don't have to worry about a delivery person showing up or someone showing up for their men's cut. We just do them on the other side, and that's fine. And it's just something that's not offered. I just thought it was,
You're so unique with everything that you do. You really thought every little detail of everything. I love that.
oh, thanks.
And so much
Okay.
heart, right? So much
Well,
heart and kindness that,
he's so cool. I
yeah.
can't wait to meet you, and I can't wait for people to see you in the pages next week. So we will come by the salon and have fun with that and showing you and putting the magazine at your location
And get our
too.
hair done.
I think so too. I think she would love to see this long.
Oh
You've
my
got
God.
amazing hair, so I bet you
Is
they
that
come
your
from
natural
Paul.
color? Is that,
Yeah, I do box dye sometimes when I to cover a few grays, just a few, but not often. I know she's looking at me
how
like,
dare you?
"Mom, get out of
How
here.
dare
Like,
you?
who are you? You run a magazine, really?" Yeah, I know. Often when I go to the hairstylist, I've had bad experiences. So I kind of just said, okay, enough of that. They always want to cut it because the quality is not good. So they say, Jill. So I don't go to the salon because of that anymore. But maybe things might change.
Mhm.
A little
We'll
blow
teach you
up.
about proper maintenance so we don't have to cut it.
I need to come to your course and learn from you if you're doing it
Absolutely.
in Calgary. Well, Amanda is the reason that you guys are sitting here, and she never fails with introducing us to good people. So we can't wait to promote the Stampede event and bring
Yeah,
some.
that'd be great.
Yeah.
Awesome. Yeah, Amanda's just been like a little powerhouse. Just, oh my gosh, I've been so excited. She's just been
I don't know what I
bringing
do
this. And
without
I'm
her.
like, okay, I'm along for the ride.
Yeah,
And
that's what we said. I said to her, I said, girl, she's either on the train or off because
yeah,
we are going hard this summer with putting the magazine at Banff World Media Festival this year. And
oh,
then what about
wonderful.
the events that we attend? Stampede itself. We hand give the magazine to all the people that are running the events that we do. We have some really cool events that maybe you should come to with Not in My City that Amanda and I support behind the
Yeah,
scenes.
July
What
25th.
is not in my city? I've never heard of
Not in
that.
My City has Paul Brandt supporting anti-trafficking, and
Oh,
a
wow.
Not So Silent Night group is run by Morgan Lyle and another beautiful lady. And we are just always doing events. Here's another amazing event for a film group, a documentary, The Man Who Saves Little Children all the time around the world, and then the Red Rug Affair happening, I think, end of July. So yeah, there's much going on in the town, and we're happy to have you included and to promote what
Absolutely.
you're doing.
I'm so excited. There's
Thank
so
you
much
so much.
going on.
Congratulations on a very successful business and
Thank you.
teaching us a few things today. So thank you.
Yeah, good. It's been great
Okay,
talking to you.
you guys too. Bye.